The country's biggest spectator event, the Network Q RAC Rally, took place this week, and for the fourth year running, Britain's hopes lay with 26-year-old Colin McRae and his co-driver Derek Ringer. In each of the previous 3 years, they've led the event only to crash out on the fast forest stages of this World Championship event. Could Colin beat the jinx this year and become the first British winner for 18 years? Back in 1987, I took the Top Gear cameras along to Lanark to visit 5 times British champion Jimmy McRae, who introduced me to his 18-year-old son Colin, who even then had a passion for speed. After competing as a schoolboy in trials, he soon turned his attention to four wheels and started rallying a Vauxhall Nova. Within 3 years, the brilliant young Scot had been signed up by the Subaru rally team, who tried to temper his exuberant driving style, often to no avail. He actually became known as Crasher McRae, and the crowds loved him. In 1993, he amazed everyone by winning the New Zealand Rally, and this year was given a full World Championship programme starting with Monte Carlo. It was a year of highs and lows, including another win in New Zealand, but the climax of the year would be the RAC. So how are you going to approach the first day?
It's normal, it's 100%, and just be very, very careful. You can't afford to drive through the first day at 90%, or someone's going to take half a minute off you, so you've got to be as quick as you can go all the time.
Almost immediately, he showed the opposition a clean pair of heels. With driving like this, the Flying Scot set a blistering pace to lead the 190-strong field at the end of the first day. After sections in England, Scotland and Wales, he held a comfortable lead of nearly 2 minutes by Wednesday morning.
6 left, 30, crest and turn, very tight to your pin right.
I think now we've got quite a comfortable lead now, so maybe just back off a bit and get to the end without making a mistake.
Behind Colin, there was a battle for the Drivers' World Championship which had gone on all year. It featured Toyota's Didier Auriol from France, who held an 11-point lead at the start of this event in Chester, and Colin's teammate, the Spanish superstar, Carlos Sainz. The odds looked distinctly in the Spaniard's favour as he held second place on the RAC with some very aggressive driving. Auriol, on the other hand, had an awful rally with crashes and turbo problems. He dropped to 94th at one point. On the last day, though, it all fell apart for Carlos as he crashed his Subaru Impreza into the Welsh scenery in the treacherous Dovey Forest. Although enthusiastic spectators lifted the car back on the road, the title chase was over, and Didier Auriol coasted home to take his first ever World Championship title. And it was a good rally for British drivers. David Llewellyn's Astra was placed 11th. Gwyndaf Evans in an Escort won the Formula 2 award. Johnny Milner scooped the Group N award in his Escort. The popular Simonite sisters from Bradford became the darlings of the crowds and finished their first international.
Just wonderful to get to the finish, and being 51st is better than we ever expected.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yes, I have very much. I'm a bit fed up now. It's all over.
20,000 people turned up at Chester Racecourse yesterday afternoon to cheer home Colin McRae and Derek Ringer, who are now, without doubt, among the very best rally crews in the world. And remember, there's still a chance to win the road-going version of David Llewellyn's rally car by entering our competition. All you have to do is answer the following question. What make of car won the RAC Rally for 8 consecutive years from 1972 to 1979? Was it A, Audi, B, Ford, or C, Saab? Call us on 0891 11 44 88, and we'll be announcing the winner in Top Gear next week.
There once was a British sports car which cost £5,000 in the 60s and now sells for nearly £200,000. A car that could scorch from 0 to 100 miles an hour and brake to a standstill in less than 14 seconds.
The stuff of legends. A giant killer. The meanest, baddest, rudest, most evil sports car ever. The AC 7-litre Cobra.
Back in 1953, AC Cars launched their stunningly beautiful Ace. Pretty but not that powerful, it took a smooth-talking Texan called Carroll Shelby to shoehorn a series of V8 engines into the Ace, turning it into the legendary Cobra. The most outrageous of which was the 427.
But this was no hot rod built in a back alley. The early 289 Cobras, that's the ones with the 4.7-litre engine, had cart springs, Stone Age suspension. So to cope with all the power, Ford got their computers at Dearborn to design a new chassis for the 7-litre. And it had anti-dive and anti-squat characteristics and coil springs at the back. An ultimate power it was. Top speed was 165 and 60 came up in a bowel-shattering 3.8 seconds. It was the fastest car the world had ever seen.
Instantly it became known as a killer car. One Californian lost control at 100 miles an hour, his Cobra spinning no less than 10 revolutions before it went over a cliff. In 1969, a borrowed Cobra killed both its occupants by hitting a wall at 120 miles an hour, leaving skid marks 300 foot long. And one 18-year-old American plunged to his doom 200 foot down the Aspen Pass in Colorado.
There was so much power from the back wheels that you could literally rip ruts in soft tarmac. And rumour has it that when Carroll Shelby took prospective purchasers out for a test drive, he'd stick a $100 bill to the windscreen, bury the throttle, and tell his passenger he could have the bill if he could reach it. The sheer push from the G-forces meant he won every single time.
And despite officially stopping production in 1967, replica Cobras are still made here at the AC factory in Weybridge, Surrey. Traditionally hand-fettled with bodies painstakingly beaten out of aluminium. So why is this one legend that refuses to be forgotten?
It's a primeval sports car. It's one of the most blood-curdling cars that's ever been made, and I don't think anything else has ever been made like it since. It's a product of hand-built British craftsmanship. The people that buy them are true car enthusiasts.
I've always said that someone who thinks that they can tame a Cobra is an absolute fool that needs respect at all times.
The earlier Cobras, the 5-litre Cobras, you could tame. The 7-litre Cobras, you think you've tamed them, you abuse them once and they bite you back. You have it facing the other way around. You never ever tame a 450 horsepower car that weighs 1 ton.
Because the Cobra's natural habitat was the racetrack, many were written off and destroyed, and it's not unknown for the less than scrupulous to build a complete new Cobra using just an old chassis number.
Back in the days when they were raced, they were wrecked, new parts were bought, new chassis. Next week, the same car's back on the racetrack, the old tangled mass is still in the garage somewhere, titles are changed over, nobody bothered.
And I suppose a good Cobra is what, worth a 427, certainly, 150, 200 grand?
150, 200,000 pounds, so it's worthwhile people dragging the old wreck out of the garage and rebuilding it.
But I see you have this marvellous piece of history here with all the old chassis numbers.
Generally known as the Bible.
The Bible. And this is the definitive guide to Cobra chassis numbers.
This is the records of AC Cars. AC Cars have recorded every single car they've made back to 1931.
So let's take the 47 we've got here today, which is CSX 3167. Let's find out.
Oh, here we have it here. 3166, 3167. It was produced by AC Cars on the 18th of the 8th, 1965. It was painted red with a black interior. There's your chassis number, and it was sent to Carroll Shelby in Los Angeles on the SS Risanja.
And here is chassis CSX 3167. Now, this is no ordinary Cobra. This is the actual car as tested by John Bolster, the motoring journalist for the magazine Autosport, back in 1967, where he recorded such Olympian performance times that it made the Guinness Book of Records as the fastest accelerating production car in the world. And it's no wonder when you look at this, the mother of all engines. Now, here it is, a 427 cubic inch 7-litre Ford engine out of the Galaxy 500. Ford built this engine to go NASCAR racing, and it's got a cast iron block, alloy heads, solid lifters, and a double pumper Holley carburettor, pushing out 480 horses.
The 427 Cobra was swift enough to make even its fastest rivals look like they were going backwards, but not fast enough for Ford, who had bankrolled the Cobra project. Shelby and Ford wanted a car to win at Le Mans, and that meant doing 200 miles an hour, which even the Cobra couldn't do. So in 1966, Ford pulled out, and all in all, only 310 7-litres were made, instantly becoming collector's items.
So does the Cobra really deserve its reputation as the most dangerous car ever? Yes and no. Around town, it's a sleepy, grouchy old car. But once you press that pedal, its character changes into something that should be fired from a rocket silo. There is this indescribable wall of power, and that's what can get you into trouble. The Cobra will lose traction at any speed, in any gear, and on any surface. And when it does, you better hope there's nothing solid in the way, because you'll be spinning faster than Torville and Dean. So there it is. An ambition fulfilled, a childhood dream realized. I have driven King Cobra. I might not have tamed it, but at least I've lived to tell the tale.
Next week, the new small BMW is it perfectly formed. Jeremy takes a crash course in touring car driving and scooting around with Steve Berry.
And there's a feature